Let's go ahead and call this meeting of the Wheaton Park District Board of Commissioners together at 7 this evening. Mike, would you take the roll, please?
Commissioner Vyers.
Here.
Commissioner Schobel.
Here.
Commissioner Morrill.
Here.
Commissioner Mee.
Here.
Commissioner Kelly. Commissioner Fry.
Here.
President Hodgkinson.
Here. All right. There are some presentations this evening we're going to hear about.
Yes, we have Athletic Manager Robert Sheridan here today to talk to the board as well as our friends at home about some upcoming athletic opportunities.
Good evening, I'm Rob Sheridan. As mentioned, Athletic Manager. Thank you to the Board of Commissioners for allowing the Wheaton Park District Athletic Department to keep you updated on our wonderful programs. Registration is now underway for the 2016 youth baseball softball season. We are currently offering early registration through February 20th. We encourage residents to take advantage of our discounted pricing and early registration today. Our programs are designed for every player, regardless of their ability and opportunity to participate. From ages 4 to adults, we offer great programs for you. All league levels provide uniforms and equipment. Games run April through June, with the exception of the Colts and Palomino leagues in baseball. High school and 19 and over leagues in softball play June and July. We are currently offering several winter baseball and softball camps and clinics to brush up on the principles of hitting, bunting, throwing, and fielding. Please visit the WheatonPDathletics.org site for more information.
Great.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks, Rob. Okay. Are there people from the community that would like to speak, Donna? Okay. Could you give us your name and address, please? Thanks.
My name is Joe Ruggiero. I've been a resident of Park District. Our kids have enjoyed every Park District. We have a big fan of the Park District. We volunteer for the Park District whenever we could. And we want to thank all of you for your service to the town. I'm here tonight to support anything the Park District can do for winter outdoor activities. Skating, basically, the main thrust of what I want to talk about. It's been years, every time I put on my hands, my fingers, is the amount of times that kids can actually go and skate. There's talk about an ice rink. We're totally support that. I know there are a number of residents with children and even adults that would love to see something like that in the gym. Have something like that. But even if that was beyond what the Park District could do, anything the Park District could do, similar to some Starbucks where they just have large sheets of ice, on parks, set out with some lighting so kids can just get out, not to depend on very thick ice on ponds. Anything the Park District could do in that regard, we would be supportive of it.
Appreciate it very much. And again, thank you for all that you do for the city. We really do appreciate you. I can repeat that now at the microphone.
Thank you.
We thought you brought him, Joe.
Thank you very
Thanks, Joe.
much.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Is there anybody else who's going to address? Okay. All right. Let's move on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented, items A through E. Approval of disbursements totaling $1,747,835.15. Period beginning December 2, 2015, ending January 12, 2016. Approval of December 9, 2015 regular meeting minutes. Approval of December 2, 2015 building and grounds meeting minutes. Approval of the January 6, 2016 buildings and grounds meeting minutes. And approval of the January 6, 2016 Finance Subcommittee meeting minutes.
Second.
I have a motion and a second by me and Morrill. Do we have any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Roll call? Roll call?
I don't know. I got a lawyer in the room. Should
Roll call. Let's do a roll call.
roll call. Commissioner Vyers.
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow.
Yes.
Commissioner Mee.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
President Hodgkinson.
Yes. Is there any unfinished business?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Let's move on to new business. First item is number 1, the petition for disconnection of property from the Wheaton Park District. Is there a motion to approve?
I'd move to deny the petition for disconnection from the Wheaton Park District by the resident residing at 2 South 671 Arrowhead Drive in Wheaton.
Second.
We have a motion by me and a second by Fry to deny this petition. Any discussion? This was reviewed in the subcommittee.
It's been our practice that we not approve these
Okay.
disconnection petitions.
Okay.
We do have Mike Winberg, the petitioner, with us this evening.
Great.
Good evening, board members. I would like to understand why you choose to disconnect, or excuse me, to disallow the disconnection petition when all the properties, contiguous properties to our east and south are not part of the park district, and only the properties to our north and west are part of the park district. We are on the border, and I would like to basically find out why you think it should not be disconnected from the park district.
This was reviewed at our subcommittee meeting, and I believe that there was one side of the property that is adjacent to the park district, and those properties would be disconnected from the park district. Is that correct?
No, and I can, if I may, Mr. Winberg, my recommendation to the board was to deny, and primarily for the reason that the very properties you talk about that are not in the park district, disconnecting your property would render the possible annexation of those properties, should those residents wish in the future, impossible. So the same.
In what reason? Because if the property to my north is part of the park district, and that also borders some of those properties to the east, why would that then render them unable to be annexed?
Because we would be spot annexing, because we would be, the ones across the street, we would be jumping a non-resident property, and that's not illegal. We were not able to spot annex any property. The analysis of the property pins with the revenue code either being in the park district or without yielded that your property could allow for us to jump across the street, and if a resident wished to annex, would allow us to do so.
There's actually no street. It's the backyards that touch each other. And so again, the property to my north is part of the park district. Code 5097 is touching those other properties that you may or may not want to annex in the future. The two properties to my south are also not part of the park district. They're code 5090. And so how can they exist as not part of the park district, and why can't I join them?
The other reason for my recommendation to deny is, the park district exists because there's a bit of a social contract here. If we start letting annexations occur, and again, I'm the head recommender, if we start letting annexations occur in this environment of where many people are looking for ways to reduce their affiliations with local government, where will it end? And if we start this process and allow it one time, we could come to a point where we get to where the programs that Mr. Sheridan talked about are no longer affordable because we have an open door policy for people just to leave the park district and decide to pay non-resident rates as opposed to a 9.5 to 10 cent per dollar property tax bill of your entire bill. I don't like recommending against the wishes of residents, but I think the greater good of the park district is at play here. And I'd be happy to sit down with you and look at the analysis that we did at staff level on how your particular disconnection not only could hurt our possible future annexations, but also that, it's not something that is for the dollars that we charge and the value we provide. It's not a good idea to start allowing residents to simply disconnect from the park district. We would be in a position where we could find ourselves in trouble to be able to provide our services. So, I mean, I certainly understand your point of view. And as I said, I'm the head recommender. That's my recommendation based on the conversation. And I know that the board, and I'd mentioned this in the past, has not been, in the past, and certainly that's no indicator of future action, but in the past has in general not been open to allowing disconnections of this type for the reasons and maybe a few others that I'm not aware of that I've outlined. So I apologize. That's my recommendation, but it's for the good of the Park District.
Okay, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other discussion? We had a motion by Terry. Should we have a roll call for this? Or,
Yes.
roll call.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes. Thank you for coming, though. And thanks for coming out on a night like tonight. Number 2, approval of expenses over $10,000 for the beverage cart for Arrowhead Golf Club for the amount not to exceed $16,000. Is there a motion?
Move to approve the purchase of a replacement beverage cart for the Arrowhead Golf Club for an amount not to exceed $16,000.
Second?
I'll second.
We have a motion by me and a second by Kelly to approve this expense. Any discussion?
I have just a comment
Okay.
for our friends at home. This item and the following 2 items, we are seeking advance approval as the Arrowhead staff annually makes its way to the PGA show, where in-person significant deals can be made with the vendors and manufacturers of these sorts of items, as well as apparel and some of the hard and soft goods that we sell at the pro shop. So we're giving our staff the ability to bring home a better deal than we would normally get.
Roll call?
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee? Yes. Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry? Yes. President Hodgkinson?
Yes. All right, the next item is approval of expenses for the golf ball dispenser. Is there a motion for that?
I'll move to approve with the,
Purchase of a replacement.
I'm one ahead, sorry.
We missed the
I think we
Go with the
missed.
Titleist.
3.
We missed the golf balls.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Oh, excuse me. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so
Let's
I'm going to make a motion.
Titleist golf
Yeah, I'm
balls.
going to make a motion to approve the purchase of Titleist products for Arrowhead Golf Club for an amount not to exceed $15,000.
So we had a motion by Kelly and a second by Schobel. Any discussion?
I just had a question. Is this for the purchase we're buying? This is what we're going to resell in the pro shop, or is?
Correct. Yes.
So this is okay.
This is really just purchasing product.
Or
then for-
yeah,
for
it's just
sale.
product for sale. Okay.
All right. Roll call?
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel? Yes. Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yep.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes. Now could we discuss the golf ball dispenser?
All right, I'll move to approve the purchase of a golf ball dispenser for the Arrowhead Golf Club for an amount not to exceed $12,750.
Second.
We have a motion by Kelly and a second by Schobel to approve this expense. Any discussion?
Yeah, it's just, for the record, it's a replacement of our current dispenser that's somewhat outdated.
I just had a question. Was this a line item in the budget? I didn't remember. Or was this just?
Yes.
It was a line item in the budget. Okay.
Okay. Roll call?
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel? Yes. Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes. All right, now let's discuss the bid results for the base bid and alternate number 3 from early construction.
Okay.
Is this something, John, you want to
Yeah,
lead us in the
I'm going to
discussion?
excuse myself from this discussion because I do business with the farming question.
Okay. Commissioner Kelly asked to be excused while we discuss this item. Is there a motion to approve
Move to approve the base bid and alternate number 3 from Early Insulation, Inc. for the Central Athletic Center ductwork installation project for a cost of $30,675.
Second.
We have a motion by Morrell and a second by Vires to approve this. Discussion. Okay, roll call.
Commissioner Vires.
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel.
Yes.
Commissioner Morrell.
Yes.
Commissioner Me.
Yes.
Commissioner Fry.
Yes.
President Hodgkinson.
Yes. Thanks. Next, we'll be discussing the professional services agreement with V3 Consultants for the civil engineering of the Central Athletic Complex Ice Rink project, which sounds like a pretty good idea to some of us. So,
Okay. So I'll move to approve a professional services agreement with V3 Consultants for the civil engineering portion of the Central Athletic Complex Ice Rink project at a cost not to exceed $52,950.
Second.
okay, we have a motion by Kelly and a second by Fry to approve this. This has been discussed several times at the Buildings and Grounds Committee. John, did you want to add anything?
So basically, this is the second part of our project to put in 2 sheets of permanent ice at the Central Athletic Center complex. So part 1 was the chiller project. We're air conditioning the gymnasiums, and the chiller that we're going to be using to air condition the gym has been sized to also have enough cooling capacity and low water temperature capacity to run 2 sheets of ice. So we'll be able to make ice from 50 degrees and below. So we should have a sheet of ice for months at a time, 2 sheets of ice actually. So this is the second part to get the grading and get the permits and everything. And then the final phase will be to actually go out for bid for the equipment of the mats and the hoses and everything that's involved to actually put the sheets of ice in. Yeah, Mark.
Is it our intention to have ice in 50-degree weather? Because I'm going to tell you, I've played on indoor ice that had indoor temperatures that got higher than that. Anytime it's over 40, 45, the ice isn't any good.
Yeah, I think that'll be. We've been told we can make ice up to 50 degrees. I think you'll have to make the ice and see the condition of it and decide when you're going to open. And maybe it'll be 40 degrees. We'll decide works best. But, I'm just throwing out 50 was the number that all the manufacturers are telling us that with this chiller and their mats, we should be able to have skatable ice at 50 degrees. Now,
Interesting to see.
whether we choose to do it at 50 or 45 or 40, that's, remains to be seen. And the actual sheets, that's in which is that the 2016 budget?
Correct.
Right.
We would need to be ready for a year from now. We would need to execute in this fiscal year.
So we need to get going on the grading, get through all the permit process, and then we can look at purchasing the actual mats for the ice.
And I think this speaks to what Joe spoke about earlier, which is, we've had ponds and things that people could skate on, but this would give us a guaranteed spot for ice. It's bringing ice to downtown Wheaton, which we think will be an asset, and we're working on improving.
So, Joe, not many people come and ask us for something and are giving it the same night.
Never. All right. All right. Any other discussion? Any other questions? All right. Roll call.
Commissioner Vires?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrell?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson.
Aye, yes. All right, next thing is the approval with Fred Coltman Tennis and Sports Surfaces. Is there a motion to approve that?
Move to approve a professional services agreement with Fred Coltman Tennis and Sports Surfaces, LLC for consulting services for the Northside Park Tennis Court Rehab Project at a cost not to exceed $11,000.
I'll second. Reagan.
We have a motion by me and a second by
Ray.
me, Morrell.
Mr. Ray.
Morrell. Discussion. Mark.
Yeah, Rob, what's with the permitting on these things? I mean, it's an existing structure, and why are we paying permit fees? Very front page, you've got, it looks like $6,500.
You know, I think I may be looking at a typo in there, that IDNR OWR permitting. I believe that's construction supervision.
Okay, all right.
Look at the proposal itself. I think it should clarify it there.
Other questions?
Rob, normally we don't hire a consultant. We kind of do this in-house. This is the way we're moving because it's for that longer product now.
This is the new type of tennis court surface.
And this is where we'll be getting the supervision of watching the product go down so we know we're going to get the right warranties.
That's correct.
And this is the first surface we've used. We'll be using that surface on, right?
Second.
Second. We did it at.
Okay. Other questions? Is this a roll call?
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
Commissioner Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson.
Yes. All right, next on the agenda is the approval of the professional services agreement with Water Technology, Inc. And this is for...
Move to approve the professional services agreement with Water Technology, Inc. for the conceptual design of Rice Pool and Water Park at a cost not to exceed $16,800.
Second.
So we have a motion by Morrill and a second by Fry to approve this. Any discussion? Any questions? This has also been reviewed in the subcommittee pretty extensively.
Like, this is, the conceptual design was which price range was that? Is this the $5 million upgrade or the?
I'd have to verify that on the Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting minutes where that was established. Rob, if you remember, you can save me from shuffling through papers.
Actually, a lot of the examples that we were given, the examples that I think are included in the packet, are actually in the range of $2 million.
Right, that was the one we're looking at. So we're buying conceptual design for a $2 million upgrade.
Right, and then we need to look at the feasibility consultants to say, all right, based on this, do we want to go above and beyond that with an expected return on investment?
Okay.
Other questions? Roll call.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson.
Yes. All right, next we're going to talk about the program guide delivery in that contract. For the bid, recommendation to use AMZO zip mailing. Is there a motion?
We're not going to motion. We're just going to sit here. Move to approve the bid for program guide delivery by AMZO Zip Mailing Services, Inc. in the amount of $15,500 for the spring 2016 edition.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion by
Bless
me and a second by Schobel to approve this. Discussion? Yeah,
Just a
Terry?
question. Mike, any reason not to rebid this since we only got one bid? I know it's under the 20G mark, but
Yes, we have. We're not sure anyone else is doing what AMZO's doing in our area. And the previous two versions of how we distributed these things, one is U.S. mail, and the other is the door hanging, door-to-door folks. U.S. mail for this bulk Class 3 or Class 10, whatever it is not reliable for us and expensive for what we get. And the door-to-door hanging service has become, I think people are getting out of the business. When the Chicago Tribune tells you they're not going to even bid on this, that tells me that they're behind in their ability to make it happen effectively and cost effectively for them. So this is pretty much our only shot. Save Rob and Mary Beth and Andy delivering them themselves.
Driving around the
they
neighborhood.
should do that if they're dedicated.
35,000 books.
Looks like we're
How
saving
many full-time employees?
some money too.
Saving a lot of money.
If they do it, we'll save a lot of money.
No.
But No, we're spending more money than we were with the door hanging folks, and we went through 2 or 3 of those outfits, and they all ended up saying, "Hey, listen, we've had enough of this. We don't think this is a good idea." There's many reasons we got out of the business of using the post office. However, this outfit seems to have perfected a way to do it more reliably and less expensive than working with the U.S. Postal Service directly. I don't know how they do it, but I'm glad they do. We will be spending more, probably 100% more on delivery over 2015. We do, however, have money in the combined budget of printing and delivery. We will still be within budget with those changes because we have been securing very favorable prices for printing over the years. And as I had noted in my report, we continue to work very hard, and we're hoping for some results in early 17 on how we can capitalize at a higher level on our web registration and presence as opposed to producing 35,000 very thick magazines. However, we need to do that without adversely affecting the revenue that is generated and the PR that is created and the public information that is provided through print media. So it's not something we want to just rush into. Margie has very intelligently backed me off of saying, let's do it tomorrow, and I'm going to follow her lead in that regard.
Margie, could I ask, why is it that they are able to do this so much better? I mean, I saw that Schaumburg gets 2 complaints out of all the brochures that they have delivered. And I can remember you and I talking about the fact that these are formerly, our brochures were being delivered and they'd be sopping wet and they would be sitting in piles of water and that kind of thing. So how is it they're able to do this?
Well, they're mailing it. I mean, they're going through the Postal Service as the post office versus home delivery. Every company that had been home delivering the guides basically is getting out of the business because the manpower that's involved in ensuring the efficiency.
And they got tired of Margie calling them up and reading them the riot act when things didn't work.
And Margie got tired of people calling her, too, and telling her so. Okay. All right, we have a motion on the floor. Is this a roll call?
Yes. Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes. All right. At last month's meeting, we mentioned or announced that Mary Lubko, the first senior director for the Wheaton Park District, had died. And we mentioned some of her many contributions to the Park District. And Commissioner Morrill has suggested that we rename the Leisure Center at Memorial Park. That's the park adjacent to the downtown area where Taste of Wheaton is held, that we rename that Leisure Center in honor of Mary Lubko and now calling it the Mary Lubko Leisure Center. Ray, would you like to comment?
I would like to make that motion.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion by Morrill and a second by Schobel to rename the Leisure Center. This would commence the Park District's 30-day waiting period to allow if there are any other ideas put forward, and then we would vote on it at a subsequent meeting. Questions?
So we're actually just moving to commence that 30-day review period,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And I would just like to say that I had the opportunity to work with her for 20 years and also had the opportunity to serve with her on the Center for History Board, as well as when I chaired the Sesquicentennial Commission, conned her into, maybe Jane conned her into being on the Finance Committee. So she was always willing to give back to the community, and I think she deserves this recognition.
She was a wonderful person. All right. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right. Next is the professional services agreement for consulting services with Vision 96 for the IT services. Who would like to make that motion?
Move to approve a professional services agreement for consulting services with Vision 96 LLC for information technology and telecommunications support through December 31, 2016, for no more than 20 hours per week at the following rates. Principal consultant, $150 an hour. Senior consultant, $100 an hour. Consultant, $85 an hour. Associate consultant, $70 per hour. And data input, $25 per hour.
Second. We have a motion by me and a second by Vyers to approve this. Questions and comments?
Yeah, I have a question. Is this 20 hours per week per principal consultant, senior consultant, consultant, associate, data input? Is it?
No, sir.
It's not.
No, this is just, these are the rates like we would have a rate sheet on any consultant agreement we would have. Staff, primarily myself and Rita Traynor, will be the ones who are the gateway for work to be done and therefore money to be spent via this agreement. And 20 hours is our estimate of a max burn, as it were. We do not expect to spend 20 hours times 52 weeks times $150 an hour. And based on a conversation with another board member this morning, we'll certainly report back to the board hours used, as well as the benefits derived therein.
Can we do this internally with our own people?
No.
John?
Yeah, I'm the one who called Mike on this morning because for years...
After the email I sent him yesterday?
If I may, the no is on our existing staff, Bob. Can we hire somebody? Yes, we could.
Yeah, so that was my point with Mike. I thought that we're understaffed in the IT area and we're using a lot of outside consultants, but Mike and Rita feel that this is the best way to solve their problem, and they think they're going to spend considerably less than $150,000. Because I had the same question: if we're going to spend $150,000, why don't we hire somebody
and have them
work full time? So Mike's agreed to report back on what we're spending on consultants in the IT area for next year. He's also open to maybe thinking about we'll add an IT person when we accumulate, what we're going to be spending and.
If I may add one other reason that John and I discussed this morning, this realm of information technology and in particular cybersecurity, there's actually a follow-up to a staff member at another unit of government who's now going to jail for things related to abusing that power as an employee. We transfer liability to a consultant who provides us with insurance against any sort of cyber fraud, anything along those lines. So I don't want a staff member of the Wheaton Park District to have the ability to put the Park District as a whole, if something were to go wrong, in jeopardy, where we would hold the consultant accountable for anything that was done possibly inappropriately. And frankly, it's a heck of a lot easier for me to get rid of a consultant than it is an employee if they turn out to not be the appropriate employee. And I think based on my level of my lack of knowledge in this area, we would be. I think we need a consultant that is protecting our best interest, but we also have the ability to change gears if we need to, and I think this is the right move.
Any other discussion? All right, roll call.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes. All right, next is reports from staff.
The license agreement.
The license agreement.
Excuse me, license agreement, sorry, on the next page. Oh, the Golf Now. Yeah. Motion to approve this?
Move to approve a license agreement between Wheaton Park District and Golf Direct Now that involves the use of our current Arrowhead indoor training area.
Is there a second? We have a motion by me and a second by Schobel to approve the license agreement with the Golf Now Direct. Discussion.
I have a couple questions. Are these guys doing this type of event or this program at other golf courses?
Let's let Bruce get up to the podium so the people at home can hear. Thanks.
Right now, they're not. This would be their only location.
Okay. One of the other questions I've got is, why do they think they can provide this and the type of money they're talking about versus a customer like myself going to a PJ Superstore or Golf Galaxy and getting fitted for clubs?
They think they're going to replace that service that those places offer with a little bit more, I guess a little more professional, a little more homey feel.
So based on their numbers, they're saying in the first year, I obviously be prorated because we're already in January. If it were real, the park district would get $43,000 in revenue.
If they hit all
based
the
on their
numbers.
projections.
Yeah.
Terry?
Yeah, I didn't read the entire agreement. Bruce, what's our buyout on this? What's our opt-out? What kind of notice in case this doesn't work for any reason? I'm sorry?
30 days, right?
30 days?
Correct.
At any particular point in time or after a particular point in time or what?
I believe, we typically put a one-way convenience out clause in our agreements, and they typically push back and want it mutual. I believe that happened in this case. So it's for convenience. We don't need a reason.
Yeah. And from my discussion with staff and also the Golf Direct Now personnel, they're going to build this out downstairs at their expense, correct?
That's correct.
Mark,
And-
sorry, Terry.
Yeah, the way I kind of look at this, I'm sorry, you finished?
I was just going to say that, we have been batting this back and forth since I've been a commissioner. We've never had any viable use down there. It's basically unused space for the most part, so I think we finally have something that we should at least try. Go ahead, Mark.
Mark?
Well, originally that space was designed to have simulators in it. That was the initial thought. It was V&E'd out, and really I think it should have been left in there in the building fund at the time. But, I was looking at their numbers. I think they're pretty aggressive as far as their projections. But, we were making over a 3-year period, $10,000 each year, so that's $30,000. I did the math on their projections. And 3 years with the rent and everything else and the tent sales, lessons, it's $158,000, $159,000 rounded up. We come in, with these numbers come in, we're making $129,000 for a space we underutilized. Over 3 years, assuming this works.
I would also add, if I may, I apologize, that I would venture to guess that a number of people new to Arrowhead may come our way as a result of this, which could translate into new customers in our restaurant and bar for added revenue.
I'd like to see if we can't somehow put like a dumbwaiter or something in there so they can up and down and have just one employee or some part-timer down there fishing it out,
Bob?
Do we have any waiters that are dumb, or is that not what you mean? That's not what you mean. I'm sorry.
Hi, Bob.
Do you foresee this taking away from your staff in regards to lessons and things like that?
I don't think so. I think this is, if anything, this adds an amenity. There's a lot of clubs that are doing things like this around us, who are building these, the learning center like they have at Cantini or Bolingbrook, Mistwood, and this is just kind of adds to that. I think with what they're projecting to teach and what they want to limit it to, we would, and along with what we taught last year, was less than what Billy and I were teaching 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
Just the two of us.
Mm-hmm. Other questions? Comments? All right.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrill?
Yes.
Commissioner Mee?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, now reports from staff. Are you guys?
Yes, I have nothing to add to my written report, and I would look forward to any questions from the board on the department reports that are within your packet.
Good.
Couple
Okay, Ray?
comments. One, I'd like to congratulate the Cosley Zoo on their Christmas sales, trees and wreaths and et cetera, $95,000 plus is pretty good. Also thought it was a neat idea for the junior high school band, Hubble Junior High School Band, to play Christmas music at the park. I think that was probably neat for the kids and probably great for the people who were there. good idea. And finally, looking at the training sessions that are going on at the community center with the frontline staff, I think that's a great idea. I think there's a lot of good things that are being covered with the staff in regards to customer service and representing the Park District. And there are frontline people. They're the type, quite often, the first person you see in the Park District. And so it's great to know that we're giving them the training opportunities to help them to do their jobs better. So very good. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Ray, are you done?
I'm done.
Yeah. Terry?
Yeah, I think it's important to note that, the revenues for our golf operation and our restaurant banquet operations exceeded the numbers for 2014. So congratulations to staff in the Park District. Same with the zoo. We continue to, increase our revenues there. I also noted with the zoo that, we entertained, about a 9.6% increase in the visitor numbers. So that obviously added to our revenues. Parks Plus Fitness, Ryan's knocking it out. We continue to increase our revenues there. More membership, so I guess we're doing something right. So congrats to the staff.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yeah, Mark?
Donna, make a note. I'm going to be like Ray. I need a hard copy of that stuff in fact.
I'm rubbing off on
Yeah.
people.
We're going to start distributing cheaters with the packets as well.
Instead of moving Ray forward, he's moving Mark backwards.
Any other comments for,
There's the funniest thing I'll hear all day.
any other comments on the staff reports? All right. We are going to go into closed session this evening. And we need a motion to do that for items A, B, and D.
Move to recess to exec session for the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, 5 ILCS 120/2C1, purchase or lease of real property, 5 ILCS 120/2C5, and pending, probable, or imminent litigation, 5 ILCS 120/2C11.
Second.
We have a motion by me. Thank you very much for coming. We have a motion by me and a second by Morrell to move into closed session for the aforementioned reasons. Roll call.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Schobel?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrell?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Fry?
Yes.
President Hodgkinson?
Yes.
There may be some
And there
action
will be possible
after.
action after the closed session.